Hi everybody. So the first class is actually the overview of the HDA, which I'm going to talk about right now. If you press tab in here, you get to type whichever object you want, or if you want to import, such as with file, alembics, and USD, you have pretty much all the options here to import. But I'm going to go with basic sphere in this tutorial. Right now, all I have is a sphere with a bunch of settings here. I'm gonna increase the frequency actually. I would like to talk about the Orion scatter. So what does Orion scatter is doing is basically a regular scatter, but an enhanced and easier version if you are like to deal with it. Orion scatter comes with the default of the settings chosen to surface scatter, and we also have a volume scatter that also fills the inside. In the surface scatter tab, we basically have a total particle count of 1 million right now if you middle click, as you can see. By an option, you can also work with the density. But this will also mean that when the more it grows, it's going to be the same amount of ratio. I'm going to stick with total particle count. Here you have an attribute control for density. So in order this to work, you need attribute that just floats. This is just my way to do that. I'm just going to put a density attribute. Visualize it, yes. The density random, and yeah, let's just make something like that. When I click use density, this will basically use my density attribute to scatter the points, and it's still gonna be 1 million points. If I have an attribute noise, this is more controllable noise of a density. Now I'm gonna have, if I put the 0 center, I'm gonna have more noise to play with. Seed allows me to change the particle order, keeping the same density or whatever settings I put in. I think if I show you here, it will be better. So right now, if I have a grid and I have less of a particles, now the relaxed saturation will keep points more organized and more balanced rather than keeping it off. If you're having basic simulations, I would suggest you turning off the relaxed iterations as it comes with a default. So right now, this is as it's working. But to enhance our particle simulations, we've added noise tab in the below, which allows you to have color variations and particle scale variations, as you can visualize in right-clicking this cube, disks, and 0.2 to 0.01. As you can see here, we have some sort of variation, and this is all controllable by your order, as you can see here. This will be useful after our simulation is running and we are having some complex and weird looking shapes to distribute all the noise evenly. The color option is also the same. It's all controllable here, but I would like to stick with saturated blue. On the other hand, we have volume scatter option, which is a little difficult, but it's the same. So basically we have an object and we need to convert this into a volume. And the volume size is actually how quality that volume should be. As you can see with default point of 0.1, you can see the voxels. But this is all because we have a small scale. If you have a larger scale, then this wouldn't happen. Because now the voxels are evenly spreaded based on the scale. And we will need to keep this value. If you have 0.1 right now, take some time since the object is so big, it really have a big differences, as you can see right now. So the smaller your object is smaller that voxel size should be. But we have made a difference here actually. Right now, if you use density attribute here, this is coming with a default density settings where you don't have to create any attribute and play it around. Now we're gonna head to the ParticleNoiser. Right now, all I need to do to run a simulation is click this circle to connect it easier, press tab and Orion ParticleNoiser. If I gotta explain it real quick, these nodes come with two modes. One is simple, that you could pretty much do all your noises, and an advanced mode, which I'm gonna talk later. In this video, I would like to talk about the simple mode and explain you what things leads to what. So right now, if I press play here, make sure to toggle on the real-time toggle. If I just watch, I'm seeing an immediate noise, which is a noise type 0. We have 8 noise types. So we have a start frame, which defines the start frame. So if I put it here like a value of 5, it's gonna start at 5. I'm gonna stick with 1. By the way, an easy control of would if you press Control button and then middle like roll, like middle wheel on your mouse, that will just make this default value, which is 1 here. You can do the same here. And reset simulation is basically needed if you did some change and then you want to reset the simulation. And yeah, here we have hints breakdown toggle that actually tells you about what is doing what, which I'm gonna talk again. But here you also have an access to read all the things down below. First, we have the use curve mode, which is the simplest. All you gotta do is press tab, type draw a curve, and press enter in the viewport. Right now we are allowed to draw whatever curve you want. Only thing we need to do is to connect this node to the second input, which is curve here, and watch it. Wait, yeah, make sure you enable. And once you enable, we're gonna have a curve control part over here, which will follow your curve. The curve strength defines how strong that your force is on the curve and how strong is the control happening. I wouldn't suggest going too high unless your scene is really big. I would rather keep it as 1. But there's 2 parameters I would like to talk about, which is curve blend and curve radius. If I have an epic pen to explain, so basically what curve blend does is it basically blends all your curves, all your points to the curve, and the curve radius is basically how thick is this curve. When it's 0 and when the blend is 1, you are basically not allowed to see your particles as it spreads out. It's just like a one singular line because of the radius is 0. So one example, if I put it 1, you're gonna see that these all is going to stick to the curve. We suggest if your blend is 1, your curve radius, because if the curve radius is 0, it's like singular line, and your blend is 1, so it sticks entirely, it's gonna be all points. All you gotta make sure is you have a certain number of radius. One example, 0.2. So it's basically 0.2 of thick. So like if I polywire and 0.2, it's as thick as this, one example. Right? If I watch it, as you can see, we have some sort of thing is happening. I mean, I would like to give it maybe more. Now, as you can see, something is happening. And we don't have strange looking particles. And in order to fix it, I would suggest talking in a later part, but if you're having some sort of steppings like this is one reason, is your curve. If you click this, your curve has a rough line. To fix this, what I would say is dropping a reshape, a resample node, closing maximum segment length to have a maximum segments of total. So like I was just going around 50, creating one more, pressing Alt and copying, making sure that right now you have more of them. But instead of treating polygons as straight edges, we would go to the subdivision curves. So right now we have a nice looking curve, and maybe even increasing the segments. This would help pretty significantly to your simulation, as you can see right now. But if it doesn't, you can always ensure that you have already fixed stepping node, which allows you to fix the steppings. And you have 3 options to, if it's small stepping, medium stepping, and extreme stepping. On the other hand, I would like to close the curve right now. We have noise types, which I want to talk about right now. So we basically have 8 noise types, including the 0, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. So the 0 one is a basic curl noise that just happens to be. And 1 is curl X noise, which is similar to the 0, the noise 0, the noise curl, but more strength, more aggressive curls, more, yeah, basically overall is more aggressive. 2 is a basic random noise vector, which we thought is useful sometimes. Maybe just increase the frequency. Yes. Sometimes it's useful, but sometimes you can stick with others. Noise 3 is fractal octave noise. This might sound or seem to be same, but it's not. It actually has a different types of noise pattern here, which I really like and I'm planning to use. Noise 4 is spiral arms, as you can see right now here. Noise 5 is noise gradient vector field. We suggest going higher frequencies instead of 1, because well, this 1 is the default, but if I put 3, you're gonna see that it's happening. And also this, also reducing the strength might also help. Noise 6 is what we thought it would be the best, which is the vortex field. And noise 7, which is the 8, is basically a math formula that is like the magnetic field. So basically by the time you will be seeing the magnetic field. I'm gonna close the hints breakdown and stick with noise 6. The strength is how strong the force should be happening, and frequency is how frequent the noise should happen. So if I put the value of 25, you're gonna see the noise is happening really frequently. If I put it 1, you see that it's not happening frequently. And the speed is how fast should be the noise happening. The wind control here is actually some sort of wind that allows you to drag your particles to the axis. Right now it's on the z-axis, as you can see. If I just increase the wind speed, the particles is going to shift that part. If I increase the wind turbulence and wind frequency, turbulent frequency, now we're gonna have a wind that is happening with frequently. Sometimes we thought it could be useful. Ooh, I like this. Maybe of 0.1. Yeah, it looks like it's sort of like a magic. Actually, wait, I'll do something. So what if, yeah, what if something like this is happening? Ooh, it's like a Harry Potter type of effect. I like it. It's still following. But due to the wind, it's also shifting just a little. Yeah, I like it.